again, I'm not going to get into all of the details, but when in Genesis 1 again, we have to come back there. And the very first time we see the word spirit in the Bible, it says the Spirit of God moved over the waters. What is it talking about? It's talking about that spirit that is actually going to be the element, the power that God uses to recreate the physical earth. And it's that same power that he used to recreate the physical earth, to reform during that 7-day creation. It's that same spirit that he uses to rework the molecules, the atoms, the cells in our body to give her the health that she had prior to her illness. So we go on here in Matthew chapter 8, where it talks about the healing of the many. When evening was come, they brought to him many that were possessed with devils, and he cast out the spirits with his word, and healed all that were sick, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Himself took our infirmities and bare our sicknesses.
When I was reading this scripture, I wondered why they waited to the evening. And that's when I learned that he actually healed Peter's mom on the Sabbath. And they waited to the evening because when sun went down, they could do work by carrying these people and bringing them to him to heal. I thought that was interesting. But when we read, like Sam just read, Matthew 5 and 17, we see that it is linked to the prophecy by Isaiah, and this fulfills Isaiah's prophecy and also brings the theme together with blessed are those who mourn in Matthew 5 and 4, for they shall be comforted. And Jesus did heal those people with his words, it says. And this shows God's care for all through this act of restoration.
So just getting into a few details about verse 16, where it says that they brought to him many that were possessed with devils and all that were sick. We need to put this into perspective, realizing that, of course, they knew now that Christ could and did perform miracles, and so they brought to him all that had the devils and all who were sick. This does not mean that everybody had a devil and everybody was sick. They brought to him the specific group. And the reason I'm mentioning this with regard to devils, first of all, devils are real. They absolutely do exist, and they do cause problems. They cause mental problems. They can also cause physical problems. But the point that I want to make here is that unfortunately, some ministers and some churches make a big deal out of that being their reason for existence, and that their prime ministry is to cast out demons and to heal. Now, casting out demons and healing, of course, are real attributes of the servants of God. But unfortunately, focusing on any person who has any problem and thinking that it's caused by a devil is a real exaggeration. And that's why we have to be very careful, because there are people who parade around saying we're going to cast out devils. And unfortunately, it's exactly the opposite that takes place. And so we have to be very careful. This is a very serious matter, because devils do cause real mental disturbances in that fact. And we have to be discerning in knowing what is the cause of a mental disturbance, because not all mental disturbances are caused by devils. And so this is why we have to be discerning in this area. Unlock Scripture's core meaning with Biblical Hebrew made simple. No reading, no memorizing. Get your free mini course now, theexplanation.com/naked.